Hello again. Today I would like to talk to you about nutrition. After the respiratory section is the most confusing section that the EMR has. I have created a baby who was born on the 27th, but he's being admitted to the NICU on the 29th. And I've already done this part. I already did the Ballard part. And now I want to do the nutrition part. If I try right now, do the nutrition part, and I'll show you here, it will give me a little sign that's saying today's weight has not been entered yet. Okay, and it won't. It'll. That's a very important part of the nutrition section. So if you don't put the weight in, the computer won't be able to figure out mLs per kilo and kilocalories per kilogram. So I just wanted to show you that part so that if you forget to put in the birth weight, you're kind of like stuck. His birth weight, let's put it as 3,500. But that doesn't mean that's his weight today. That's the birth weight on the 27th. When you put in your vital signs today, it might be a different weight. And let's make his weight here. It automatically comes up as 3,500 because that's the way the program works. Well, he's now only 3,400. Okay? And that's important because, again, your mLs per kilo, etc., that's going to show up in the nutrition section is going to be based upon today's weight. All right. I'm not doing all this stuff. I'm not doing maternal data, lab data. This is nutrition. All right. So let's go to the nutrition section. And I want to change. I want to say yes. Okay. Now, this is the first page of this template. You have three different places you can go. This is the nutrition summary. This is the 24-hour intake. And look, see, 3,400 grams is what we're basing it on, not on his birth weight. And this is where you write what you're going to be doing and what you're planning on doing. Okay, so in the nutrition summary, the only thing you can do here is you can write something in the summary notes like starting feeds. Starting feeds. Again, the summary part is something that it's important because it tells the history, but it's not important really for that date because sometimes it can be a tome and you think like you're reading Dr. Zhivago when you read through any of these summaries. It's a tag along. So what most important is what goes on for today. Okay, you can always put the date in, and that tells you that on this day we're starting feeds. Okay, this part here, look at this. It says go to the 24-hour intake template to populate these fields. So I cannot populate these fields here. In fact, if I try to add a new one here, it just gives me nothing. Okay, so just remember, because this is what's the baby received the day before. Okay, it's not what the baby is receiving today. Okay, so when you input that information, it's always the day before. The 24-hour output, again, goes for the day before too. So let's say we have, and usually you don't because he's being admitted from the well baby nursery, but you have some idea that the baby peed out 300 mLs and he had 3 stools. Okay, I don't think the tab does not work correctly on this thing. Okay, so you cannot use a tab to go in between these things. You go to urine and then you go to stools. Okay, you have to use your clicker. This will give you the mLs per kilogram per hour using the weight that you put in. Okay, the 3,400 and the stools here. Let's click save and let's go and look. See, it's 12:28, which is yesterday because we're putting in the stuff that happened in the last 24 hours. Okay, close. Let's go back into the 24 intake. Now there's nothing here because guess what? We didn't have any information from this baby. Let's say he was in the well baby nursery, breastfeeding, etc. And it's his first day in the NICU. You can put in something here, as in breastfeeding. So let's say he was breastfeeding. You go, let me talk you through this one again. You right click in here, you add new. and human milk is what breast milk is, human milk, and you're breastfeeding, and it's asking you how many times a baby breastfed. And so from the computer that you have, you pick 6. Okay, so you save and you close. Now look at look at this. There's a big click icon down here that is important, and perhaps it should be in red, but it's not. Okay, but look, it says return to summary template. The reason why it does that is that once you put in the information up here, in order for the computer to calculate how many mLs per kilogram per day that the baby's going to be getting, you have to return to the summary template. Now, this baby has not been in the NICU, so he hasn't had the TPN, and I will show you how to do that in another tutorial. We're just doing the initial day the baby's here. So again, return to summary template, and it says here, it says 0 calories here because we don't know how much he fed. Okay, but just remember, whenever you input anything into the 24-hour intake, you have to return to the summary template, or guess what? You will have nothing in your nutrition section as far as kilocalories, etc. Here, you put in your assessment, you put in your problems. Let's say the baby's problem started today, and that his nutrition, he was just having some, let's see, maybe he wasn't eating well, so he was having feeding problems. Okay. Now here, whenever you see red, think that that's important. Okay. It may not be important for your note, but guess what? It's important for tomorrow's note, because if you don't put this note in, as let's say 100, well, that's a lot for that baby, 120 mLs per kilo. If you don't put that in, tomorrow's note is going to be all messed up. All right, and it'll be messed up because it won't know how many mLs per kilo the baby was supposed to get. And it's just a really, especially with TPN, it makes a big mess. Okay, so what are we going to plan for tomorrow? Well, let's say for some reason you want to make this kid NPO now. Okay, so you push NPO and you want to start some TPN. Or let's say you want to start just regular IV fluids. You would go here, DW, and you put in D10. Okay, if you want any additives, you put in the additives. Okay, and remember, if you have a blank spot here, that means you can write in whatever you want. Okay, if, let's say, you want to save this, you put save. Now let's say you made a mistake. You don't want D10W. You just highlight it, right click, and you push delete. Okay, it shows up here again, but you're not saving it, so it's not going to be in here. Now let's say you want to give him some TPN. So you put in the dextrose, and then you put in the grams per kilo of the protein. So let's say we're giving him 2. Okay, and let's say you're going to give him 2 of intralipids also. Look at that. There's nothing in there. Why is there nothing in there? Because I haven't saved it. So if you do not save this, the computer doesn't realize that it's there. Okay, so these are all planned for tomorrow. Okay, well, planned for the next 24 hours. And then you're writing here what you want. What's important now is what happens tomorrow, and I'll put that under nutrition part 2. Okay, so to recap here, in the nutrition summary, on that first page, you can write anything you want in the summary. And in the 24-hour output, you can put that in here by right-clicking and add new. Okay. If you want to change it, you just left-click it and then right-click it, and you say open, and you can change it. Okay. I don't want to make any changes. When you go to the 24-hour intake, you put in what the baby ate in the last 24 hours, and then you have to go back to return, and now you have to go to nutrition, and you have to put in what you want. Okay. Again, you can always click and unclick the NPO. Oh, look at that, it doesn't change. I didn't know that. Once you hit NPO, you're stuck. Well, what can I say? Let's see if I'm putting in alimentum. Aha! That's how you get rid of the NPO. You put in a food. Okay, so just all you gotta do is put in a food. Let's see if I delete this. okay? And let's say I made him NPO and I want to do this. It doesn't give me the chance to save it, okay? So in order to, I can't do that to make him not NPO. I have to go in here and click in human milk here, and then the NPO goes away. All right. Alrighty. So now that we did yesterday's here, I didn't show you how to do this. You have to put in tomorrow's, which I would just showed you there. Is you have to click in here. You push whatever you want to give Similac Advance. The root is very important because it determines the level of billing. If it's oral gavage or gavage, you're a different billing than you are if you're oral. I don't put in the mLs per feed because it's always changing. Okay, if you're going up on the mLs per feed, so I just don't. I just leave it out, and then I have Q3 or whatever you want to put in there, and then you save it. All right. So there you go. You're all set for tomorrow. So this baby is planned, the Similac. But let's see. Let's go back because do want him to breastfeed. So and realize now that since I was able to unclick the NPO by putting in something. We're going to put that as demand. And if I save it, it's going to come up as planned. Now, if you don't put the planned in, your note's going to be all right. But tomorrow, your partner's going to have trouble. If you don't put in the mLs per kilogram for the next 12 hours, 24 hours, your partner tomorrow is screwed. Okay, so if you don't like the guy that's coming on tomorrow, just leave those things blank. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. Okay, so what you have to do is do that. You got to put in the 120 and you you put in the plant. I'm going to now close this because we've gone over nutrition for the first day, and I'm going to do nutrition for the second day.